Hello. Welcome back to a very thankful Talking Nerds. Hello, everybody. Thankful. Who always did that again? Was
I
it
don't
Vin
know.
Diesel?
The
It's like,
emoji.
thankful. No, it was DJ Khaled. Thankful.
Major key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ
Another
Khaled.
one.
Another
one. Yeah.
And here we are, another podcast. Welcome back. and instead of doing our weeks this time, we're going to talk about what, we can talk about either our Thanksgiving weeks or what you got for Black Friday. So whoever wants to start can start. Okay, go ahead.
Start. It's actually in frame right now.
Oh, you got a new guitar. I didn't even realize. Holy crap.
I got my own bass.
Nice.
I have had an
awesome.
IKEA bass that was missing a pickup. It had the most massive high action possible on the strings. The neck was warped. It was purely at home practice bass.
Nice.
And barely practiced on it. I finally got my own brand new Fender Squier jazz bass, and I'm stoked about it. And I got a deal on it.
4-string. It's 4-string.
It's a 4-string. 4-string. Yeah. I'm so stoked because I got it as a bundle. It was a Black Friday bundle, and it came with a 15-watt amp, which is perfect for practicing at home.
Yeah.
And it was only $300.
Nice.
And so the bass alone, if you buy the bass alone, it was $280, and that's $100 amp. So I got it for $20 with the bundle, and it came with a gig bag and a strap, but I upgraded the strap. That's what I got for Black Friday. I'm stoked about it.
It's pretty awesome. I have an Ibanez bass. Cost a bit of money.
Yeah.
I need a new case though. I had a hard case and the top's starting to come off, so I gotta look for a new case.
Yeah, my next things for this. So I also got I had a new 1/4 inch because I didn't have a 90-degree one, and this one is on the face of the body, and it just is really awkward with a straight plug. So I did get a 90. It was $10, right? And then I got a tuner pedal for it as well, and then a nice strap. But my next purchase is a drop D tuner, so I can drop my E string to D, and then a hard case.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Are you gonna actually play, or are you just gonna leave it on the?
Yeah, I've been playing every day since I got it for at least an hour.
Nice.
I'm going through. I'm taking a course right now. I've played bass for years, but not seriously. So I got a course online, and I'm going through it with the goal of actually being able to play with people.
Yeah.
And be confident. It's a confidence thing too,
I didn't realize we had all the essentials for a band right here.
The Talking Nerds band.
Yeah.
If you're referring to my piano skills, they are very rusty.
If you're referring to my beautiful voice,
Wait, Nick, Vic, what do you play? Buffalo.
Bass I play bass and cajon.
You could play.
Trying to get back into set, but I haven't touched a set in a long time.
You should get an electronic set because you can fold it up and put it away.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, if you're having a baby soon, you can
you could get the mesh tops instead of the hard top ones.
Yeah,
if you get a mesh one, it's really quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
I know there's some sets for $300 that are the essentials, right? But you can always add more stuff to it, and then it sounds whatever kit you want.
Honestly, if you have a kick, a snare, and a few cymbals, that's all you really need.
You really only need a hi-hat and a ride, and you're pretty much good.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna rock out, we might need a few crash, but
you'll need a crash.
This is what I got.
Big E's pulling it out.
Black Friday. a PlayStation 5 Slim with the
Your
disc
video
slot.
is very, very laggy, by the way.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just you.
that's a
It's
bummer.
just you. So,
It doesn't look
And
laggy.
it's
man.
not laggy for me, but I'm on my phone, so
oh, interesting.
Well,
Is it
let me
laggy for you,
connect to-
Buffalo?
I don't know. Say something.
How about now? Is this a little better?
I think so. I
Think
mean,
a little bit better?
it's still kind of glitching on me.
Still glitchy? Well, can you see at least still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, there it is.
It's beautiful. It really is a beautiful Wi-Fi modem.
It's the iPhone of gaming.
It looks like a documentation manual or something.
And it's got a little bit of those little logos,
Oh,
button logos there on the backside.
Are they actual buttons or no?
No, they're just
Oh.
it's just plastic. But I'm excited because I got the disc slot one, so I can play 4K and Blu-ray discs now.
so you got
that's
your
nice.
4K player, your overpriced 4K player.
That's right. That's right.
So we can
Double
watch those 4K Star Wars now.
Exactly. Well, I need a
Oh.
4K. We need a 4K.
Oh,
We could always play 4K discs. We just didn't have a TV that really could
Right.
play.
yeah, that's true. Nice.
So now you can just bring it over to Nick's.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, can your TV play 4K?
I thought that's why we did the. That's why we
yeah,
did the Star Wars
I can play
one.
Blu-ray with it, obviously.
Yeah. I don't remember now. I don't know.
I thought
Yeah.
we did it at yours because you
Yeah,
had
that's
4K.
that's what I thought too. But now I'm like, wait, did we? I don't remember. But
Yeah.
You know, what? I'm
thought
gonna
so.
switch my Wi-Fi because now you guys are glitching out on me. So I think it is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not to be biased, but I do think it's on your end.
Well, of course it's on my end. Always on.
Oh man.
Stand by.
So
I did not get anything fun for Black Friday. Well, I guess I got a
Wow.
car.
You're so frugal.
Well, I got a car 2 weeks ago, so we'll say that was my
Wow.
Black Friday purchase. And
Are you
you know,
gonna tell us what
shoes,
kind of car?
RAV4.
Oh,
Biggie is very familiar with that car. It's
Buffalo
the
Pete, not
same
Biggie.
color, also. Or
Buffalo's
blue.
car.
Yeah,
Buffalo's car.
jeez, Louise. No, yeah, Buffalo is very familiar with that, even the same color. So, but yeah, and then I got shoes for my kid because you know that's important.
hey, that's frugal parenting, right? We commend that.
That is parenting on one person's wages, right there.
he can go barefoot. He's
Right. He does live in the South, so
So
Yeah.
the
Is
light
it
was
cold
kind
down
of.
there yet?
I can see my reflection.
I mean it's 67 in my place, and we haven't had the heat on in like 2 weeks, so it's like 56 outside.
That'd be
So
nice.
I'm just
That would be
cruising with
nice.
no AC or heat right now. Just kind of like 67's a little chilly for me, but you know,
Forgotten your
it's all
roots.
good. It's 60s. I've always been this way. Even when I first went to college, I don't like constant AC.
You know what they say? It's not the cold, it's the wind.
That is, dude, that is 100%
Hey.
true. When we
You know
went
what?
over to Aunt Cindy's, the temperature didn't change, but it was so much nicer there because the houses block all the wind.
Yeah, Nick,
So
you
much
sound
nicer.
like you're ready to be a dad already. It's
It
not the
does sound
cold
like-
yeah, it's the wind.
It's the wind.
I see
yeah,
you've been
I
putting
gotta-
in your reps.
You know what? I've been practicing since I got married.
I love it. Oh man,
Nice.
that's good.
Where'd Nathan go?
Yeah, his Wi-Fi is probably still swapping over. So he's
Oh goodness.
freaking
All right,
you guys-
what'd you get, Nick? Yes, we can hear you.
1
I
second.
didn't get anything. I missed a bourbon raffle though on Good Friday, which I'm kind of upset about.
Oh,
But it's
dang.
whatever. There was like hundreds of people there, and I think they only gave away 80. Well, not gave away. You could buy 82 bottles, I think it was. So
Mhm.
chances weren't that great to begin with, but
Yeah. Oh, is that because you were at mom and dad's?
yeah. I mean, no,
How
we were
long did you?
we were sitting on the couch, and then I saw pictures of stuff. I was like, "What?" So it was in my
I missed it.
hometown.
No
Didn't
way.
even realize it.
Wait, what happened?
I missed that bourbon raffle at Hy-Vee out here.
Oh, gotcha. Can you guys see me better now? Is it less blurry?
Yeah.
It's been fine for me the whole time, so don't ask me.
Well, you're in the multiverse, so you're seeing all the different versions.
Exactly.
seeing
I'm seeing
every-
all the
yeah.
possibilities.
Yeah.
Tyler,
I think
Tyler,
it- I-
can you guys see me a little better?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I
I
say
got-
that, and then you freeze.
Yeah, right. I got some other things. There's still some things coming in the mail, but I also got Spider-Man trilogy in 4K, Sam Raimi.
Nice.
I got Jurassic Park,
Hmm.
the original, 4K.
Okay.
I got. I'm gonna put these somewhere here. BTAS, the entire animated series on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this includes it. It also includes Mask of the Phantasm, fantastic movie, and Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. But I don't know if it includes The Adventure Continues, which is the follow-up show after BTAS.
So those two movies are in the same universe as BTAS?
Yes, they
Okay.
are. Yeah, same. Kevin Conroy and Mike Hamill both are in there. And then I got Indiana Jones 4K. It's got 4 movies, whatever. It's got the last one in. Who cares? But I couldn't find one with just the 3. And then I also have the Dark Knight trilogy coming in 4K and the Tim Burton universe. So Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin in 4K disc set. So that's coming.
Dude, you just like doubled your 4K library on Black Friday.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, Black Friday sales,
I'm
I
not
would've
thinking
bought
you.
more,
I'm like,
but
that's
I was like,
awesome.
I can't do all this right now.
Well, you couldn't buy more because the other half of the budget went towards your PS5.
Well, that's not the only thing. I got a bunch of games too.
Oh, Steam sale?
Steam. Did you buy I'm totally blanking
Space
right
Marine
now.
2?
Space Marine 2.
No, I didn't.
Well,
I
you have
didn't.
until tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
for the discount.
Well, I'm still gonna get it. It'll be fine. I know I'm gonna miss the sale, but that's okay.
All right. I could buy
Yeah.
it for you
Gotta
and
space
you
your
could
fun
pay me
money out.
back, next
No.
month or whenever.
No, I don't want to. No. I don't want to put that on you.
Okay.
I've had to owe you money before. That was stressful for me. I know.
It wasn't
Not because
stressful
of
for
you.
me.
Not
was
because
fine.
of you, but I just hate owing people money.
I don't charge interest, so
That's true. You are very kind. We'll talk offline.
all right. But yeah, so I got a bunch of games on sale. Obviously, a bunch of PlayStation games. I got Astrobot, Zach, so I'm playing it. And I finally get to play Bloodborne. Super excited about that.
Oh, that'll be cool.
And yeah, I mean, what did I get on PC? Black Myth Wukong was unfortunately not on sale. I got the Quidditch, the Harry Potter Quidditch game on sale. Portal was on sale. I got that. Some other indie games.
He's getting
Like
all of
Paul
his bachelor purchases in before the deadline.
I know. I was gonna make
don't
that
you worry.
comment.
My fun money is going towards games and 4K movies when I'm married. So don't you worry. That'll
Oh.
still be happening.
All right. I'm just making sure.
But yeah. And then
There's like a monthly spend limit that you have to hit to be the main host of this show, by the way. So you have to like retain.
earned
that
this
through-
anyways, that's what I got.
Nice.
Nice.
I don't know about you, Bluey, but we're putting together like baby registries, and they don't have any sales on baby stuff. Nobody
No.
ever puts sales on that stuff.
Of course not, because they know they don't have to.
Yeah,
You need it.
because they're all necessary. Like it's all
Exactly.
necessary stuff.
Well,
So it's
they
like-
say it's all necessary.
Well, I mean, like a car seat, right? Like
Right,
nobody can
that's
put a sale on that because
necessary.
everybody needs one.
Is a car seat really that necessary?
Nah, just strap that sucker in and go. Just like
Goodness.
jerry rig one of those like body carriers to the seat.
Right?
Ratchet strap.
Yep. That'll be fine.
Redneck.
Yep.
You
Well, that's
like
what-
slap
so
the
that's
baby
what-
on the head. You like slap it on the head. This puppy's not going anywhere.
I'm a dad.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
No, that's what my wife was saying. So my wife's a little bit older than me. She's 37. So like, and I'm 33. So I was always in a car seat, but she had a couple years when she was really young where her parents didn't put her in a car seat, and she's just like, I don't understand why we can't do that anymore. And I'm like, well, everybody drives a lot faster now. The vehicles are different. There's more drivers on the road,
Yeah.
And she's like, no, of course, that all makes sense. She's like, it's just dumb. My parents never had to worry about this.
Fair.
Careful about saying that on the air. You might have child protection services.
Oh,
coming in.
yeah. We
No,
put him in a
new
car
RAV4.
seat every
They're
time.
our only listeners.
He's got a new RAV4. He's got safety to the highest.
I almost got hit coming home today. I was this
you didn't.
close. I did. I was about ready to be so incredibly pleased. And this is here's your weekly PSA drivers. If it is multiple lanes of traffic and it's like rush hour traffic and it's bumper to bumper traffic and you're in, say, the far right lane and there's someone who's trying to cross over your lanes of traffic and turn left and you think you're being a really nice guy and you're going to stop and let them go,
I'm just not a nice guy, so I don't know.
You're not being a nice guy because that's exactly what happened. 2 lanes tried to be nice guys, and I was looking ahead at the green light, driving forward, and almost get T-boned by someone trying to turn left. Don't be a nice guy. If it's a green light, go.
I know. That's what I do. Like, and then they get mad at, like, they'll like look at you. It's like,
oh,
dude,
I laid on my
right
horn.
away here, so.
No, and
We also live
in some states
Chicagoland.
it is illegal to do that. Like just that, like it is against the rules of the road manual. I should have
That's
known.
what
I've taken that class about 3 times.
Yeah.
But
I saw some
Unreal.
nice road raging from an Audi today. Some guy cut him off merging, and he just like right behind on the guy's tail.
That's the exact reason I got a dash cam. Not for
Yeah.
the safety of me or anything like that, but so I can rewatch other people acting up on the road.
yeah. Oh, here's another little.
I'm
If,
just like-
if a Tesla ever tries to pull some road rage on you and they start tailgating you, and you're in like bumper to bumper traffic, just tap your brakes hard every once in a while because their car will auto hit their brakes because it won't allow them. So you can just mess with the driver.
You can just
So
EMP.
not-
EMP
I'm not saying this
them
from
or whatever.
personal
Their
experience.
whole car will just shut down.
Yeah, I'll just pull out my homemade EMP and go, bam! Everything shut down behind me.
There's this giant microphone.
Oh,
No, just
speaking-
go.
we,
Just
we only
just
have
take 'em on a
3.5
road
hours
trip.
for the aliens to invade. I don't know if any of you heard about that today. The aliens were supposed to
Oh.
invade. So
Oh, good.
yeah, so 3.5 hours to go, guys.
well, good thing we're
Welcome.
live streaming.
Exactly.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. We'll bring the
Mhm.
breaking news updates when those happen on air. Yeah, yeah. So all of a sudden, hell divers start falling through the sky. You go, what? Master Chief is here. You go, oh my gosh, they were right. No way.
Oh man.
Alrighty. Anybody else? You get anything? No.
It was just a good week, man.
Thanksgiving? Was it good
Just a good
Thanksgiving?
week.
So much good food, so much good whiskey.
yeah. Lots of good
Yeah.
food.
Family,
My liver is
good-
taking a break.
Good family.
Every day drinking. I've never had that much like back-to-back days.
Well, you probably did last Christmas.
Maybe.
Every
Maybe
holiday.
that's why I got sick after last Christmas.
Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely gives you the runs, that's for sure.
I'm sure you just used that last Christmas to build up your immunity for this holiday season. Yeah,
Right. That's right.
that's
Always
how it
hydrate.
works.
Well, we got a bunch of news here. A lot has
I-
happened in the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick. You should have said always hydrate and then took a shot of whiskey. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was just a missed opportunity. There you go. Always hydrate.
So if you want to share my
News. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So HBO says that Harry Potter series will benefit from J.K. Rowling's involvement, and she has the right to express her personal views. The irony here, is that she shares all the same views as all these people, except when it comes to 20 minutes of screen time. So,
Oh.
you know, she can say whatever she wants.
Oh.
automatic transmissions.
Women.
Yeah, well,
Women's rights.
well, mainly the transmission stuff, but
But in regards to women's rights specifically.
yes, yeah. When J.K. Rowling first went public in June 2020, this is the Variety, about her belief that transgender women are men and transgender men are women. Many of the stars of Harry Potter, including Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, not so much. I don't think. I don't know if that's true. And Eddie Redmayne immediately spoke out in support of trans and non-binary rights and identity. Imagine that. MuggleNet, or two of the biggest Harry Potter fans, MuggleNet and the Leaky Cauldron, denounced Rowling's views and severed ties. Well, you know what's funny? A lot of them told people not to play Hogwarts Legacy, and they played it anyways.
The best part is like they're severing ties from the person who's making them money.
Yeah, they're like burning books, and she's like, "I don't really care. You bought the book, so
You bought the book already.
it doesn't matter to me what you do."
She goes, "Guess what? $1 billion doesn't matter to me."
Nerdrotic said she doesn't have FU money. She has shut the F up money.
Nice.
She is extremely wealthy. She does not care what anybody thinks.
Here's a 20% off on all my books. You can buy more.
You can buy more to burn.
Here's some wood for your fire. So Warner Bros. Released a carefully worded statement that a diverse and inclusive culture has never been more important to our company and to our audiences around the world. Of course. Duh. Which, while not mentioning Rowling or trans and non-binary people, did at least put some rhetorical distance between the studio and the creative force. 4 years later, the landscape looks quite different under new leadership, aka MAGA. Warner Bros. Discovery has aggressively expanded the reach of Rowling's Wizarding World, centered on HBO's impending revival of Rowling's book series, which, by the way, could still be woke because she is still woke. She's not woke. We could still get race swapped characters, all sorts of stuff. And to be fair, there are a lot of diverse characters in Harry Potter already, so it's like it's already kind of woke. Like, I don't know why you need to change it. Focus on the story and we're fine. But yeah, when the irony of making Hermione black is that she gets called Mudblood and traitor and all this bad blood and all this stuff. It's like, you guys know what you're doing here. Or making the Weasleys black. Yeah.
The poorest
idea.
family.
The poorest family in Harry Potter black. Great idea. So we'll see. Who knows? That could still happen. But HBO, led by so they're reviving for the TV show, led by showrunner Francesca Gardner and director Mark Malloy, both alums of Succession, which I have not watched. Apparently, it's really good. Which is an HBO television series. HBO chief Casey Bloys told reporters at a press event on November 12th that Rowling was very, very involved in the process, selecting the writer and the director, and her anti-trans statements haven't affected the casting or hiring of writers or production staff for the show. And why should it? Who cares? You're not going to have transgender characters in the show, first of all, and I don't think she cares who's working on the show, as long as it's sticking to her books. And a spokesperson for the network said in a statement to Variety that his parent company has been working with J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter business for over 20 years, and her contribution has been invaluable. Of course it has. That makes them so much money. Go to Wizarding World.
I watched the Nerdrotic video, so I'm going to rip off of him.
Yeah.
But
rip off
he
of
posted he posted all the graphs of like the gross income that this franchise makes, and yeah, there's no impact from the community that's up in arms. It's
No, because they
actually
still do it.
the
Like
inverse.
there was a whole like group against Harry Potter, and the admins of the group were still playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Nerdrotic calls it the Star Wars for millennials. That's what it is.
They were only hate playing. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. And he called their whole movement just a fart in the wind because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yep. We are proud to once again tell the story of Harry Potter, the heartwarming books that speak the power of friendship, resolve, and acceptance. J.K. Rowling has a right to express her personal views. We will remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement. Good job.
I think they're learning from Disney and Gina Carano.
Woke is out, and people just they want to make money, and we want a good show. So let's make it happen.
Yep.
So yeah. Rowling, meanwhile, has made her campaign against trans identity essential. Okay, so then, of course, Variety as woke as they're like, but J.K. Rowling is still a terrible person. We don't care, we care that Warner Bros. Is being sensible and being the adults in the room here. So good for them. That's great. Moving on to, speaking of Disney, IGN released another article kind of based. Disney, stop announcing Star Wars movie and just make one. Why we should stop paying attention to Star Wars news. Well, that's not really why, but you know what? We'll give you it. That's fine. Another week, another Star Wars announcement that leads to languished sighs all over the internet. Despite Daisy Ridley saying only a few weeks ago that the Rey-focused Star Wars movie was evolving and we'd get an update soon, the news came soon after that the next untitled Star Wars film. I love how it's a link. It probably goes to all the untitled Star Wars films.
She's like, it's evolving. We bypassed good story writing.
Yes, we bypassed tickets.
You actually just bypassed the whole thing. It's not happening anymore.
It's not happening anymore. If they don't come out and say that it's canceled, it's canceled. It's just not. They're never going to mention it again. That's most of theirs. I think Rey. I thought Rey was canceled already, so I'm not sure why we're still talking about it.
Why? Because
here we are.
White.
No, all the controversy with what's her face, the activist director.
Oh, Kathleen.
Oh
no. Remember Shabib Shenoy or whatever her name is?
Oh yeah. Shenoy.
Yeah. You remember all that. I like making men scared or uncomfortable.
They feel
and
uncomfortable.
Leslie Headlamp.
Lesbian headlamp. Yeah. Yep.
Times.
Yeah. I can't wait for in 2 weeks. We're gonna have our last podcast of the year, and we're gonna be doing a little game on basically a bracket. We're gonna put best and worst up against each other until they fight each other in the end. And the championship will consist of the best thing of the year versus the worst thing of the year, which did better in its category. So I'm very excited.
That's gonna be so hard.
I know
who's gonna win already.
Well, we'll see. We're
I
not including games. It's just shows and movies. We'll kind of combine them together.
I already know the winner.
I don't know.
All right.
We'll see. Well, it'll be open discussion. We'll talk about it, So,
and I'm going to be very strong-willed.
Okay.
I will will the winner.
All righty. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm like, it's hard for me to pick, honestly. Echo still came out this year, guys. In case
That's true. That's true. The one that
you talking about Acolyte?
No.
Well, he's. All right, we'll talk about it later.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it. All right. Anyways, another untitled Star Wars film has been yanked from its December 18th, 2026 release date, and ignominiously. I'm a terrible YouTuber because most YouTubers would just pretend that word is not there and just move on. I did not. Replaced with Ice Age 6. They're coming out with another Ice Age. All right.
Wow.
Pog.
To be honest, I thought there were more than 6 Ice Ages at this point, so
Yeah,
I guess
I did
not.
too.
Whether or not you're excited for a new Ice Age film, no. It's certainly not a great sign that there was what was supposed to be the crown jewel franchise in Disney's lineup when they purchased the property back in 2012 is now being shoved aside for another talking animal movie. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago where it's like they want to put Marvel and Star Wars just on, basically create their own cable channel to have Star Wars and Marvel constantly playing in the background because they see everybody watching streamers and YouTube on a second screen constantly, and they think, okay, that's what we need to compete with now. So we're going to take one of the biggest franchises in human history in entertainment, and we're just going to make it a background show. It's like, guys, this is pathetic. But yeah, and yet it's not surprising at all. Regardless of anyone's thoughts on the quality of individual projects, the Disney Star Wars era has been rife with corporate mismanagement. Yes, constant second guessing and inability to envision a future for the property beyond pilfering from its past. There's a lot of truth to that. In terms of pilfering from its past, yes, but it's rewriting the past. It's not really trying to use old ideas. It's trying to rewrite everything that's existed. So you're kind of on the right path.
It's like Frankenstein, really. It's like you're trying to resurrect something, but it's coming back as a horrid, gross, ugly, mean monster.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. It's a sad state of affairs, but it's also what Lucasfilm has been doing for far too long, to the point where that it's time we stop giving the company any credence unless they go through a serious realignment. Welcome to our side. Thank you.
Welcome to 2024 IGN.
It's funny, like everybody raved that Last Jedi was the best Star Wars film ever made, and now everybody hates it. And it's like, imagine that.
Yeah, nerds were the head leaders on that movement, by the way, for all you viewers out there. Yeah, we were the forerunners of that movement.
Not really, but we were thinking it. So let's take a look at why IGN thinks we need to stop paying attention to Star Wars movies. The Phantom movies. Well, there are a lot. The Rey movie, currently set to be directed by, there she is, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. May not have been the movie that just lost its release date, but it most likely was. Even though the film recently lost Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight as its writer, probably would have been a good writer to have.
Big loss.
Yep. Reports have indicated that Rey is important to multiple development. Oh no.
Oh yes. Yes, the dominoes are falling.
More things to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
So her movie, supposedly set after The Rise of Skywalker, where she establishes a new Jedi Order and does it the right way this time, was the most probable candidate to launch the next wave of Star Wars films. Knight departing the project would also been an understandable reason why the film had to be pushed back, as Lucasfilm scrambles to find someone new to pen the script. But that situation is standard operating procedure. Okay. So what else do we got? No, we're not doing that. So it is to say that unlikely most of these films will come to fruition is an extreme understatement. Lucasfilm has been repeatedly announcing projects that, yep, there you go. You're finally catching up here. Does anyone seriously believe that the latest report of X-Men producer Simon Kinberg's upcoming trilogy will pan out differently? Everybody's getting trilogies at Lucasfilm. It's crazy. You got a big name? All right, here you go. Here's a trilogy for you.
You get a trilogy, and you get a trilogy. You get a trilogy.
Or we would just bide our time until we get news that they have departed the project. Yep. Episode 9 problem. The biggest reason we're in the state is that Rise of Skywalker detonated the franchise theatrically. Yes, that's true. The last entry in the Skywalker saga managed to barely crawl over the $1 billion mark. A huge downturn from The Force Awakens. Now, it doesn't. I mean, it is worse than Force Awakens, but it doesn't mean that Force Awakens is any better. It just means
that Force Awakens also had the benefit of timing.
Right.
where we hadn't had a Star Wars movie in years.
And we weren't all sure if we liked it or not.
It
And then
did,
we saw
and it,
Last Jedi, and we're like, oh, okay,
okay.
this is bad.
It did have aspects of nostalgia too.
Yeah. But you look back and you're like, wow, I must have been wearing sunglasses while watching this movie.
Rose-colored sunglasses.
Yeah. This is not there's a lot of problems with that movie. Of course, the number one is killing frickin' Han Solo. That is your biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as killing is the way Luke Skywalker, the way you killed Luke Skywalker as a character. But also his death was pathetic. But the film was a creative disaster, spending as much time of its time trying to walk back the previous film. I mean, that's true. They didn't have a plan.
Yep.
Maybe you should have a plan.
Jar Jar
Come back
Abrams.
later, like, yeah, I think we should have probably had a plan. And yes, good idea, J.J. Abrams. You're supposed to be the big director here. Whatever J.J. Abrams, Lawrence Kasdan, and everyone else at Lucasfilm imagined for the new trilogy to be when they started work on The Force Awakens, it likely wasn't a limp sprint to a boss fight with a bizarrely resurrected Palpatine. Yep. They even said somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow.
Yeah. They're like, what should we put for his, like, the reason? I don't know. Somehow, I guess. All right, I'll write that down. Well, you come up with a reason later. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. The trilogy had some interesting new characters, and The Last Jedi tried to add thematic depth to the proceedings, but The Rise of Skywalker threw it all out for a tired retreat that reeks of desperation. I don't know. Were there any interesting new characters?
How about
Not in my
no?
opinion. The only one that could have been an interesting new character, ironically, is Finn.
I was
Yes.
going to say
And they did
Poe.
nothing with him.
FN2187.
Yeah, he should have been a Jedi.
He should have been a Jedi.
That is a cool concept. Having
Yes, it's a very cool concept.
that's not
Stormtrooper.
that hasn't been done before. That is original. Idea. So yeah, I think
But they realized that they weren't going to be able to sell it to China because Finn's black
And they're racist.
And China's racist, and they were like, "Oh crap, we can't have him be the main character."
yeah. Poe, I'm not really sure. He wasn't as interesting as Finn, but he also had a weird start to his character.
Yeah, they like hyped him up to be awesome, and then it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
he's supposed
He
to be
had
your
one
new
good
Han
scene.
Solo.
Right. Yeah. He was supposed to be the
Yeah.
new Han Solo, but he
A
didn't
very
make-
weak start with the whole Kylo
They
Ren.
fly
scene.
now. Yes, they've flown for the last 9 movies.
What do you? Yeah, are you serious? Absolutely insane. Audiences went from incredibly excited to tremendously wary of Star Wars, and Lucasfilm hasn't been able to get a new film off the ground in the time. Yes, a Star Wars film was an actual bomb. Yes, that was terrible. But there was a much lower stakes affair in terms of its effect on the franchise, being a spin-off about a single character. If the movie hadn't essentially been shot twice, ballooning its budget out of control, it could have had a respectable hit. Well, I don't know. You know my thoughts.
I
on
see
the
it.
spin-offs.
Well, I see that point of view though. Like they lost way bigger than they would have if they just got it right the first time. I say got it right, but like,
Their biggest problem was the whole Crimson Dawn thing. That was rough. And Kira, that character, what a
Mhm.
joke. The freaking rebel leader, little girl.
Oh, gosh, I forgot about that.
Darth Maul coming back at the end. Like there were so many dumb things in that movie. But the finale, okay, whatever. Within only 4 years, audiences went from incredibly excited to tremendously wary of Star Wars, and Lucasfilm hasn't been able to get a new film off the ground in the time since, instead retreating to the middling comforts of Disney Plus shows.
I actually 100% agree with that. Right? Like we were all excited to have Star Wars back on the big screen.
Yes,
And
now it's
and
small.
then and then we got massively let down.
Yeah.
So
not that the pivot to TV has been a total wash. But I mean, yeah, I didn't watch Andor, so
it was very good.
Visions was okay.
I like the first season of Visions.
I didn't watch the second season, but it simply doesn't feel like the right call for Star Wars. It's true. It's supposed to be a cinematic universe on the big screen. Excuse me. So that's what it's meant for. But the original Star Wars was one of the movies that literally invented the modern blockbuster template. So to see the franchise in such a sorry state is disheartening. And no, putting the fourth season of The Mandalorian on hold and releasing what will likely amount to a TV special for Mando and Grogu in theaters doesn't help matters. Well, I don't really need a season 4 of that, to be honest, anyways. No. So, if anything, it reinforces the value of the Star Wars brand. It's plummeted to a point that it might not be able to recover. It won't. It won't. That's not how the Force works. Yeah. I mean,
at least under Disney's ownership.
Deepfakes Luke Skywalker. Yes, that was an issue. Force
Leia flying.
Ridiculous looking cosplay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, valuable things in here, but there's probably not gonna be anything in terms of wokeness. Star Wars is a mess, and it will stay that way so long as the current leadership and corporate attitude remains in place. I agree. Kathleen Kennedy should quit. Constantly hiring, firing, and also Dave Filoni. Constantly hiring, firing, and recycling creatives on their projects just for none of them to get made is no way to run a movie studio. The cultural rot at the heart of this enterprise is too deep-rooted to be removed by anything less than a complete overhaul. But whether that's even possible at this stage is anyone's guess. Yeah. So there you go. IGN, they're on the right track.
They're just not admitting the main issue.
The main issue here.
Now here's a fun
Vanta in the room.
Here's a fun homework assignment. Go back to all of the things that they just said were bad and look at their articles at the time of release.
Yeah.
And see what they had to say then.
100%.
Not saying that opinions can't change, but
of course.
But
they won't admit.
Keep that in mind.
Star Wars Theory watched the first episode or 2 of Skeleton Crew, and he said it's actually not bad.
I saw that.
I don't always trust his view because he is also one of those people that flip flops on a dime.
He's a little
he has
member berry.
Yes.
You know,
he cried when
I cried when Luke Skywalker entered in. Oh, well, I didn't cry. I got emotional when Luke Skywalker came on screen.
My point is, though, he liked all this stuff until he met Mahler and Ryan Kinnell and them, and now suddenly he's supposedly based, and it's like. Because when he's on his own content, he says stuff that it's like, okay, what? And then he'll like flip flop when he's on another podcast. It's like, okay, I don't know. It seems like you're trying to appease
my
people.
point is with IGN is the culture's changed. They realize it, but their goal as a site and whatever you want to call them, studio, news, whatever, journalism, right? Journalists, they need to stay relevant. Right. And so now that the culture
they need to stay an IGN 7 out of 10.
They need to stay relevant. So they also have to shift with the culture, which causes the flip-flop nature because their entire goal is to not alienate 80-90% of their readers.
Yeah.
But when they were thinking that everybody was agreeing with them about, oh, the woke stuff's good, this is good, there's just toxic fans. And then they realize that, oh, actually, the toxic fans are the fans, the main base, and the toxic ones are the ones injecting all this crap into our beloved franchises. You get articles like this. So it's obviously like it's good to see this, but it's also like keep a pound of salt in your back pocket to sprinkle all over these because they're going to flip flop. So
and another thing too, I think Barbie and Wicked too have showed how successful you can be if you cater to your target audience. You cater to your girl audience. Girls are going to come out in droves to see it. Imagine if they made Barbie with a bunch of well, they did, but a bunch of transgender. Barbie's a guy, right? Nobody would like that. But
Yeah, well,
the
if
fact
they
that
made
she was super
Barbie,
girly,
if they even race swapped Barbie, like Barbie, like if it
right?
wasn't Margot Robbie, I don't know
Mhm.
if it would get the same impact.
Probably not.
Um,
Yeah.
and also, what if the Barbie movie had more Ken in it? It probably wouldn't have the same impact, right?
Right.
Did you guys see Wicked?
No.
I don't need to see it.
I did
I've
watch
seen
it.
the musical, and that was
My
enough.
my wife wants to go see it.
I
So
watched it, and
It's a
I
good
actually really
musical.
liked it. I actually really enjoyed it because me and my wife have had a lot of talk about this because we have not a lot. We have a few family members on her side who are um, pretty left leaning. That's probably putting it kindly. Um, and they're trying to frame this movie as a political piece, right, for their agenda that they believe in. But it's funny
Well, the
because
interviews certainly do.
well, sure, but I mean that's the act. But they stay true to the source material, the book.
Exactly.
They actually stay true to the theatrical production, and they only expand outside of the theatrical production within the bounds of the book. So
Yeah.
it's like very well done, actually.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
but it is so simply done, like in a creative way, that I, as a not left person, can look at it and I can apply it to my beliefs and use it to say, no, it's actually talking about this, and it can completely contrast. And I think that's the beautiful thing about the arts and entertainment is
Yeah.
if you keep it simple, you can relate to everybody so that they can pull out and frame it at the way that they look at the world. And I
Yeah.
think that that's a lost art, and it was actually really refreshing, even though they had some gay stuff in it. I don't think they had any trans stuff. I don't really know. Wasn't really paying attention or looking for it, but it wasn't in my face. It wasn't like, ah, gay guy kissing on screen. Look, he's right here in your face. I hope you're watching this in 3D so you can see all the tongue happening. It
Boy,
wasn't like that.
Voice is calling me right now.
Yeah. Oh, boy, he gets nervous when
He gets
I don't
nervous.
respond. um, he worries. No,
He
it
worries.
wasn't in your face, right? It was
Right.
just a couple scenes here and there where it was like, oh yeah, that's the obviously gay guy, or like, oh yeah, that character's obviously gay, but it wasn't like in my face, like
Yeah.
approve of this. So I actually enjoyed it, and I'm actually excited for part 2.
I just can't stand Ariana Grande and the what's her names. Like
Oh, the interviews are
their interviews are
abominable.
awful.
It's so bad.
I
Yeah.
will say
Awful.
I went in extremely skeptical
Just
because of
crying
those
and holding
interviews.
hands the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, I went into those extremely skeptical because of those interviews, and that actually there's like nothing about those interviews like really
Translates.
shows because
Okay.
they shot it back in like 2021.
Yeah.
So like this has been in production for a very long time. So and those interviews are obviously a lot more recent, and so it's like you could argue like they're trying like trying to, since the culture's shifted, so far left, and they're still trying to like retain that shift now that it's shifting back to the right.
Yeah.
You could argue that they're like still trying to cling on to it, but when they created it and shot it, like none of that crap like really comes through in it. So
Right. And so that's my point. Like if you cater to your target audience, they're going to enjoy it. So, if they cater those towards men more, the women would not enjoy it. And the women are the ones who are primarily the audience here.
Yeah.
You look at Star Wars, contrastly, it's a primarily 90% male audience. You make your male characters weak and your female characters masculine. Men are not going to like it, and most women are not going to see it.
Except for Gina Carano, she can be a little masculine.
She deserves it because she's a badass. So
Did y'all see that little there was a trend where they were like Gronk, make an image of me based on my tweets, and she did one and it was Captain America but a woman. She was like, I'm okay with this. And I was like, yes, that's good.
I just want to point everybody back to episode 6. And we all know that episode 6 is when they found out that like the target audience was men. And I think you guys know why I'm saying that.
Carrie Fisher.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Mandalorian. I'm like,
I was thinking Acolyte at first, and I was like, wait a second. No, that's the opposite.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Yes,
Yeah. That's targeting your demographic right there. That's what that looks like.
No, I'm more Padme guy myself, but
Okay. Example number 2.
Episode 2.
I saw a meme actually just today.
we don't
and
care
it
how
was like-
cringe that scene is.
Yeah, I saw a meme today, and it was like producer or director, and then it was Collins, and it's like, yeah, so we're gonna have like this tiger thing, like swipe, and then it's gonna give her a crop top, and then it's like George Lucas. He goes, "My God, you've done it again."
I saw that one too. It was fantastic.
And I was like, yes, yes, cater to your demographics. Oh man,
That is hilarious.
I'm convinced that role for her alone is what got all of the guys our age to like have a crush on her.
Oh yeah. All right, switching gears really quick. The Batman Part 2 gets unfortunate update from James Gunn. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Wow.
All right, everybody's the Riddler now.
Yes. Well, not as bad as it's not what you actually think. I'll just go to the actual tweet. Who will be the villain? At the time of writing, Reeves has not disclosed who the Capes Crusader will be facing. The Penguin is confirmed to appear in the film. Everyone from Two-Face to Clayface. Hush was, I think he's the front runner right now. And Court of Owls has been rumored. I think also Mr. Freeze has been rumored. But what's the news? Wait, where did it go?
Where's the tweet?
Back in September, Batman writer-director Matt Reeves, who is returning for the sequel, shared that the script had officially been finished. Unfortunately, during a recent exchange with fans on Threads, Gunn dismissed the EW report, claiming that it is well-intentioned but mistaken, and that everyone at DC Studios was very much looking forward to reading the Batman Part 2 script when Reeves and co-writer Tomlin were finished with it. So that's the bad news. It's just the script isn't finished. But we have a release date, October 2nd of 2026 is the release date. And recently we did get a tweet from James Gunn, or I guess this is probably Threads. James Gunn said, why would you believe Rando and social networking? Of course not. If it was canceled, it would be canceled. Well, tell that to Lucasfilm. Who has time for charades? I've been one of Matt's biggest cheerleaders for years. We are eagerly awaiting his script. So not canceled. That's good news, because we all were kind of worried that Penguin would be it and we would be getting nothing else after this because of the new James Gunn universe, which, by the way, the first thing in his new DCU is I think premiering next week, which is the what's it called? The Suicide Squad one. Weasels in it's the animated show.
Yeah, the animated one, yeah.
Creature Commandos, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So that is releasing, I think, either this week or next week. So that's the very first one. And I think the first film will be Superman, which is coming out next summer. So yeah, so that's great news. I think this will kind of be a separate, and I hope he keeps going. Like, let's keep the DCU. I'm fine if we have two Batmans, honestly. It's not really Robert Pattinson's Batman that I am here for. It's more the universe that Matt Reeves has built, and the Penguin obviously is incredible. And if he can keep doing that with Batman's Rogue Gallery, I'm down for it. So that's great news, and we got a release date. So hopefully we stick to it.
I have a thought. I want to hear your thoughts on it, especially you, Biggie, because you're probably the biggest Batman fan here of us four. Do you think Batman as a universe is more fit for a series, like a run of series or movies, or a combo?
Personally, based on BTAS alone, I would say series. I think
Because you argued that Star Wars,
there's so much that Batman offers,
and there's too many great villains too.
Exactly. I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And the fact
you argued that Star Wars only belonged on the big screen, which is where this is coming from. So for
I
Batman,
would want like an HBO show style, Penguin.
like Penguin. Yeah.
The fact that he has his rule about not killing too, these villains are going to be around all the time. They're going to go in and out of Arkham, and
now
so
if
they're
we
never going to.
get to the point where he's like old man Batman and he's like, screw it, I'm killing Joker finally. That would be cool to see a long running show. Maybe see some time jumps here and there, like House of the Dragon, you know. HBO can do that well. So I would be good with that. Yes, show
Nice.
100% a series.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to see a series with like hour and a half episode length.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the Penguin format. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this last bit of news here, it doesn't really pertain to us. I just thought it was funny to read. The Wizards of the Coast, so they have the rights to Dungeons and Dragons. They have the rights to Magic the Gathering. They're the ones who made the Black Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering series. The maker or the author of a recent Dungeons and Dragons book, The Making of the Original Dungeons and Dragons, that's the book, writes off fans unhappy with the book insulting the game's original creators, quoting, "I consider those people not worth listening to." So here we have another IP alienating its core audience. How about that? Latest
I'd love
example,
to see it.
yeah, of a classic nerd hobby proclaiming themselves to be better than its longtime fans. Warhammer is getting there. Wizards of the Coast designer Jason Tandra has admitted that when writing his recent book, he did not care that readers may disagree with the book denigration of the game's original creators. Simply put, he considers them not worth listening to. Yeah, and you can imagine. To answer more than one person who asked, what is this referring to? Rob's rebuttal and his response to the preface message in the book. They make claims that the creators in D&D were. Oh, that's not helpful. Let's see what he actually said. No, okay. The rules that make up the original D were created by and sold to a wargaming community that was exclusively white middle class men. Therefore, it's bad, as we know. The rules compiled here offer little by way of rules for other players, nor indeed for anyone who wouldn't easily identify with a pulp sword and sorcery hero, especially before 1974. The rules made light of slavery, in addition, including other harmful content. Okay, so here's the problem with role-playing games. The point is you're not playing yourself. You're playing a character. This is the biggest problem with woke entertainment, is that these selfish idiots want everything to be about them. It's not about you. Okay, it's about this fantastical world of characters and writing and superheroes and fantasy and dragons and all this random thing. Like it's escapism. It's to get out of this our everyday and go to escape to somewhere fantastical. I don't want to play myself. I want to play a cool character. I don't really care what he looks like or she or whatever. That's the biggest problem, is that's why everything is about them. Everything's about the message, is because they only care about themselves and their ego and whatever matters to them. They don't actually care about the lore and the characters and everything else. Some language in the first iteration of DT presents. I hate that when they say it like that. Presents a moral quandary. The documents reproduced in this book include many pages of charts and tables alongside lists of monsters, spells, and magic items, but the game content also includes a virtual catalog of insensitive and derogatory language, words that
Like
are
dwarves.
casually hurtful to anyone with a physical or mental Yes. Thank you for pointing out the obvious. You do have a mental disability. Thank you. Or what happened to the old, fat, non-conventionally attractive? Yeah, you're just explaining everything well here. Yes, you guys are fat and non-conventionally attractive. Thank you for pointing out the obvious. Black
Is this
or women?
white or a black woman? Because
I have no idea, but yeah, okay, whatever. Black or women, sure. As long as it's not Lord of the Rings, I don't really care.
It's like all the purple-haired women who once Trump won were like, we're not gonna have sex with you anymore.
I know.
it's like
Okay.
who was doing it before?
All right.
Like, yeah, it'll
Cool.
be easier to spot to avoid.
Some people have charitably ascribed this language to authors working from bad assumptions. In the 1970s, historical war gamers in America were predominantly white middle-class men. It
What
isn't
is this?
surprising that
War
they were the upper
gamers?
class.
Like
I know.
war gamers? What do you mean? Like we're in a generation that thrives off Call of Duty. Like it's not gotten any better.
And
if you wanna call
Warhammer
us
and
war gamers.
Helldivers, like, yeah.
There's like a whole genre on war gaming. It's called a first-person shooter. Like,
Yeah.
The cultural appropriation of original D&D ranges from the bewildering to the staggering. Gods, demigods, and heroes include game statistics for sacred figures revered by more than 1 billion people around the world, where players expected of... Okay, and this stuff I don't really know, but you get the idea here. And then Elon Musk clapped back. And he said, nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax, who's the creator of Dungeons and Dragons. What the F is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the... Was it Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast. May they burn in hell.
and we know his nerd status based on Diablo.
Number 1 Diablo player in the world. And
top 20.
He's creating AI gaming something, which is basically he wants to make gaming great again, is his idea. I don't know what this is, but you know what? I love the idea of making gaming great again. So let's go. Let's do this.
Just make everything great again. Mega.
Yes. I think
Just go mega.
the idea behind this would be to get rid of microtransactions, to actually release games finished, and also just to get rid of Sweet Baby Inc. That would be a good
Get them out.
Get them out. So there you go, guys. That's the news for this week. Lots of stuff happening in the world. And you know what? I'm glad I never got into D&D because I just really don't care anymore. And it's probably one of the wokest ones out there at this point. So
you almost did though. You were talking about it for a while.
Yes, I did, but I'm glad I got into Warhammer instead. So yeah. Anyways, last thing we're going to talk about before we wrap up is Arcane season 2 finale. And I Arcan't with the finale. I tried really hard.
Here,
I don't know about Bluey, but we watched it. Okay, go ahead.
Can I just say, can we put out like our initial thoughts and then maybe dive deeper next week? Just because we're a little low on time.
Sure.
At least for me, I'm not gonna speak.
Yeah, we'll dive into in 2 weeks probably because we have the Game Awards next week. But
so I'll keep it short.
Or we can talk about it while the Game Awards actually are going.
I actually won't make it to the Game Awards. I know. I'm so sorry. But okay. I will be in chat. I'll be in chat. Yeah. So I was kind of disappointed, as I think most people were. And I was kind of confused, if I'm being honest. Like the whole time we're watching.
Very confused.
Yeah, we're watching. Is it Act or Chapter 2 and 3? Is that how they broke it up?
Act 3, yeah.
It's Act 2 and 3, right? So it's Act 1, 2, and 3 of season 2. So all of Act 2, Biggie and I were like, when are they going to start like explaining stuff to us or like helping us understand what's going on?
It looks cool, but I'm so confused.
I know. And then I got to the end of episode 3 of Act 3, and I was like, yeah, so I still don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little confused here.
They went so far off the path of like what they kind of set up. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel about Jinx. I kind of preferred her as a villain.
Dead. She's not dead.
No, she's 100% not dead.
Yeah, they didn't show the body, so of course she's not dead. But I don't know if I like the redemption aspect. I like that her and her sister were like each other again, but I still prefer her as a villain than a hero. it's like Harley Quinn. They made Harley Quinn a hero, and it's like this just doesn't
Here's
fit Harley Quinn,
here's my thoughts on Jinx. I think, well, I know, and we know this, she's bipolar. So I think that that's going to be a key part of her character is she's going to be constantly flipping. And that's why like Caitlyn will never trust her. It's going to put Vi in like a very
assuming these
moral
characters show up again
right.
a lot
It
at least.
just is the end, and it's like, what the heck was that all about?
But like Jinx is always going to be flipping. I mean, it's kind of even like in her name, Jinx, right? She jinxes herself, and then all of a sudden she's flipped to this villain. And like you can see, like she never has like one core goal. Like it's always flip flop. Like she wants to prove herself, and then she's like, oh, but Vander's back. Like I want to be with my family. And it's like, well, what happened to like proving yourself and being, your own person and not a Jinx? And then she embraces Jinx, like she's always constantly flipping back and forth between like what she actually wants. And she never really got, I mean, even with Isha, she never got to have that friend with Isha, right? Because Isha's gone now. And so like she's this character that's always in turmoil. And I think that that's a good thing. You can use that as her character as being bipolar, and she's just constantly flipping. And that creates an interesting story, I think. So, but I like villain Jinx better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate what they did with Victor and Warwick.
Oh yeah, Victor was.
I mean, you call me a stuck with the game, but I just despise what they did with those two characters. Completely retconned them.
Yeah,
I'm really sad about Warwick. It was cool to see him, and then it was like, that's it. Oh,
that's the biggest thing that we had talked about when we were watching it. Is it's visually, it's like it's just throwing stuff at you, and it's like visual, oversaturation. But it's not. There's a lack of story, and they don't explain anything.
Yeah,
and you're just kind of left being like, ooh, cool, but
maybe a hot take, but my favorite character I think in this last act was Echo.
Oh yeah, he was 100% my favorite character.
I think so too, yeah.
Like he actually had like main character energy and drive.
But he was just summed up too quickly there.
Well, but yeah, but I think they utilized him the best. They utilized him the best they could for the
Heimerdinger was hilarious.
Yes, but I think they underutilized him.
Yes, 100% they underutilized him.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, like I would have loved to seen some of the things that he has in game.
His turrets
played out. Yeah, his little plane, his like plane thing that he shoots in. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
very underwhelmed.
Coming from one of the greatest seasons of television ever to this is kind of a disappointment. So.
Yep.
I mean, Arcan't season 1, I think, is one of the highest rated on, was it Samba TV or whatever?
Well, and it's funny too because season 2 is the first show in history to have a 9 or higher on the episode rating on IGN or something.
It's like the Force Awakens effect here, though.
Right? How long will that actually last?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the rewatch value will be good on this.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think it will.
Maybe if you're trying to understand more stuff that you missed,
right.
You're like, man, I'm confused. Maybe I need to watch it again.
Yeah. I think we had the benefit of it actually being broken up into the 3 acts, and so we had time to actually think about it instead of binging it. So
yeah,
I think one of the biggest disappointments for me was Vander being Warwick. I think it would have been cooler if Warwick was just by itself a cool villain.
I mean, that is lore, though, right?
Yeah.
No, Vander.
Warwick's name is Vander.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess it is lore, but that was.
But that it doesn't say that. Oh, and Vander was the adopted father.
Right.
It doesn't say that in lore. It just says that his name is Vander.
Well, and also I think the turnaround so quickly from Warwick back to Vander was bizarre too.
Yeah, a little.
They really like redemption, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just so quick and
I feel like it would have been great to have a non-redeemed Warwick. Like
Right.
that would
Yes.
you're doing it to everything else, right? You're trying to redeem Jinx, you're redeeming Vi
I
when she
I
goes off the path.
yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing all these things. Just let one character not, and let it be
Right.
Warwick, and let him have chaos.
Well, they
Like that.
tried to do that with Mbessa, right? She was the
Yeah.
non-redeemable character. Oh, I do love that Caitlyn's side chick ended up being a bad guy. That was random and kind of like hilarious at the same
I
time.
know. Never trust a lesbian.
Very random.
Exactly.
True.
No, I mean, no, I'm serious though. Look at every time Caitlyn trusted Vi. What did Vi
Right.
do? Right?
Turned on her.
Her other
Mhm.
girlfriend, she was with Mbessa, right?
Yep.
I'm just saying. Never trust them. The proof is in the pudding, okay?
Proof is in the pudding.
No, I was gonna say I kind of hate the overdone idea of somebody is completely changed like Vander is to Warwick, and then somebody can change him, even though he's a
Right.
different being altogether at this point. It's like, but no, she can reach into his heart and find the real Vander, and he can break it. No, he can't. He's not the same person anymore physically.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
his soul is lost, right? He's just a monster at this point.
I will say I at least give them some credit for not shipping Jason Victor, even though they kind of hinted at it.
J-Vic.
I was waiting for it, and they never did it.
The little gay
Thank
wet
goodness.
at the end, though.
I liked all the people shipping Heimerdinger and Echo. That was great.
Jeez Louise.
Gross.
Actually, it's funny. Like everybody's talking about like parody too, like who they would ship in Arcane, and one of them was Heimerdinger and like Mbessa or something. It's
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
it's just these random, but it's like they're making fun of all the people like trying to
Right,
ship
right.
everything. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, what
Yes.
about Heimerdinger? There's obviously chemistry between
We
those.
live in a shipping culture, and it's so
Yeah.
gross and dumb, and I hate it.
Yep.
The entire Rings of Power was based on shipping.
You want to know why a
All
ship
season
floats and a
2.
rock doesn't?
Yeah.
No. I did see this one. I think it was like a lesbian or something, but she's like, "Oh my gosh, the creators and animators did such a good job with body language between Caitlyn and the other chick. I don't remember what her name was.
Oh,
She was so
yeah.
irrelevant. But she was like she was like drawing lines and stuff on different shots. And she's like,
Oh
see
my
here, like
gosh.
Caitlyn doesn't want her to touch. She like wants space. She wants space here. She's got her agency from this woman. But when
Oh
she's
my
with Vi,
goodness.
when she's with Vi, you can see she's just open and vulnerable. So she really, really just missed Vi. I'm like,
Oh
all right, I'm out of here.
What actually was happening in this episode, though?
I don't even care about that stuff between like an actual man and a woman in a
Right.
heterosexual. It's like just give
we
me
were
a show.
We were mad that Elrond kissed Galadriel
Right.
because it
Well,
didn't make sense.
I also saw a meme where it was like, yeah, Mel and Jace had sex, and that was the downfall of everything else that happened in the show. It's like they had sex, and then it was all over from there.
Yep.
So
I do
don't
think that
think so, or
Mel's
was the
story,
rest of
Mel's
Was
side
pretty cool.
story was
Yes.
probably the most interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Probably, but that even was not fleshed out enough.
But actually, though, based on the lore, that part makes sense because like
Okay,
LeBlanc,
but I don't know the lore, so
Yeah,
I'm
that
looking
we
from a
agree, Tyler.
completely
That was
objective
LeBlanc she
viewpoint.
was talking to, right?
100%,
Okay.
100%,
Yeah.
because she was shrouding her actual
Exactly.
entire
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
But
All right.
no, so like I think they did a good job because it was like it once you are thinking like I want to know who this is, this person that Mel is looking at, and like it's obviously like a coven of sorcerers, and like it's a third party that's like influenced. There's some tie with Mbessa, so I think the way that they did it well enough where it like makes you interested, and I think it's going to be the common thread between the next like series because the Black Rose is an organization that has their thorns and vines everywhere. So I think that's going to be the common thread to bring characters from not like the same places, but they'll be, you'll see them or their actions in a next series or, something like that. Even though they're not directly tied together, like back to back, I think that's the way that they're going to do it is using the Black Rose as an organization.
Yeah.
And so you'll learn more about them and the people who actually are affiliated with them. But for right now, you just have to know that it's a mystery. And I think that that's okay, personally.
Hmm.
I know you don't like it because the rest of the core story was also a mystery. And so it makes it look worse. But if from someone who's read up on some lore, that mystery makes sense. But it doesn't make sense when the rest of the story is a mystery. You know what I mean? So I get why you feel that way, Biggie. I affirm your feelings.
I
Be affirmed.
like first like Lord of the like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies are so good from a writing aspect, but also they do a great job of including both fans of the lore and people who are just fans of the movies, you know.
Right.
It doesn't what's the word I'm looking not
Gatekeep.
yeah, it doesn't gatekeep, it doesn't keep anybody out from enjoying it. It doesn't confuse you. It's just it includes things from the lore and it explains everything. And if it doesn't include something, you don't need to really know about it. You know, that's nice. That's a good way of writing it. That's the one thing I don't like about Harry Potter. Actually, after reading the books, is I'm like, ooh, wow, a lot of important things are kept out of the movies. I still enjoy the movies, but they're not nearly as good as the books.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I would argue with a thing like Arcane, where you are pulling out of a a story that's already just lore, you're actually going to encourage people to want to read the lore. Like, at least in my experience, right? Like a lot of stuff that I learned was because I was like, oh, that's an interesting, like Black Rose. I'm like, oh, let me just research some more things about Black Rose. And then you go to the wiki and you see like, oh, this character and this character are tied together, and somehow even in the lore it's tied to Vi or Jinx. Like there's like 3 4 different characters that tie them all together, and like that part interests me. And maybe that's just like a me thing, and I get that's not everybody, but like it actually like pushed me to like actually want to read more about it, you know. So if they were going for that, I don't know if they succeeded for me, but I also get the sentiment of like, don't alienate people, but also it's free information on the internet. You don't have to like buy a book or anything to understand this. You can just Google
that's
it,
true.
you know.
Unless you're a person like me who's like, I need to know everything about this, and I will
And
deep dive
and that's
into all of
true.
this.
But we know that like there's never ever going to be a piece of media that ever satisfies everybody. So I think that's just kind of something that we're gonna have to. I mean, you can always
That's a
like
slippery
please
slope.
them. No, sure, you can always you're gonna aim to please the majority of people, but
Yeah.
there's gonna be the lore heads where they're like, "Wow, why didn't you bring this super cool part of the lore?" And it's like, "Well, because we would have had 3 more episodes just to explain it."
Right.
You know, like, you're always gonna have that. And then you're gonna have the people who feel like you, where it's like, "I have no idea what Black Rose is, and I
The
don't really
best
care to look it up
best
enough."
advice for writers is that there is no modern audience. There is just the audience. There is no such thing as the modern audience.
Right. Just write good stories.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on the whole thing with the confusion. The story, honestly, mid.
Right.
If even that, just super mid. Not bad. Like,
5 out of 10.
yeah, exactly. Like it's just super mid. Like not bad,
10 out of
but
10 is your IGN though, so
7 out of 10. No.
Or
Not
9.9999 out of 10.
there you go. Yeah. Not like super bad because they did explain like they explained well how Jace got his Waystone crystal. And
Yep.
they explained that he got it from Victor, and Victor's kind of been traveling time this whole time because he saw that he was going to fail in the future, and so he gave Jace this all the way back in the past so that he would be the one to prevent it. And like it took Jace to make him realize that. Like that's a cool thing, but like the whole arcane, like understanding arcane is still not there. Like nobody
Yeah.
actually understands like arcane as an entity, and so
Yep.
that is like a
I
big
yeah,
missing piece.
that was my biggest question was what that was, and I
Yeah, right.
still don't know if I know what it is. I think I do, but I and
I
and I
think
have Flash
I
and
could
I
be wrong, but I just think it's like time manipulation, and it's
yeah,
like because you see that with Echo, right? He's got 4 seconds, and he juices it up, right? Um, but
mhm,
then you've got this over like arching like big arcane, and it's it's like out of control. Like nobody can control it because it's too big. So
Right.
I think that the idea is like too much of something is like you can't handle it, but if you compact it, you can handle it. And so they're trying to play with that, like too much of a good thing is a bad thing, I guess. But they didn't explain it very well because we don't know what the base level of that thing is. Right? Like,
Yeah.
was Hex Tech good? I don't know. I mean, maybe it
Right.
was bad. Like, but it all got corrupted in the end.
I
So
think
I
the
would
idea
argue it
is
was
it's supposed to
bad.
be, but yeah,
And
it
like the people didn't
but in a
corrupt it
way
either.
it saved them too in the end. So
Yeah, but like the
I think
people didn't corrupt it
but
either. So I'm really confused because there was no character that was like the driving force between corrupting the arcane. I mean, you could argue maybe Victor, but like he
he
saw
was
it already
exploiting it, though.
corrupted and then he followed along with it
Yeah.
because he's like, oh, this is what it wants to do. I'm going to let it do what it wants. Like that, this is natural. And Jace
Right.
is like, no, you're ruining everything. Like, we're not going to be able to control this. I know what
Yeah.
I have to do. And he has like this whole vision, right? Or journey out of time. And so I like there was no like bad actor to drive like the curse of Arcane. And so it's just
Hmm.
really confusing. It's really, really confusing.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, what's
So
up,
anyway,
morning?
yes.
Thanks for stopping
Hey
in.
Chris.
So yeah, that's I don't even know if there is much more to say beyond that.
Yeah,
but
and like if we want to talk more about it, you know, in the coming, you guys can talk about it for Game Awards and whatnot. But
Yeah.
that's just my short form thoughts. Very mid. Some really good things, cool things for characters and different entities, but overall story, mid.
very mid. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's that.
Sorry, I did a lot of talking there at the end.
Hey,
Huh?
you're passionate about it. That's good.
I
Hey-
enjoyed it.
This will definitely be in our little what do you call it? Battle, I guess you could say. Battle of the best and worst. At the end of the year here in a couple weeks. But next week we will have the Game Awards next Thursday. Hopefully it's not just me.
I
but
will be in chat. I will be in chat. It always falls on a Christmas concert rehearsal. Like I don't know why.
Yeah.
So
fair. So we'll see. But if anybody out there is interested in joining and you're fine being on a podcast, let me know on Discord. And then in 2 weeks we'll have our final podcast for the year. And we're just gonna, as explained earlier, we're just gonna do a best and worst kind of categories. And then it's a bracket until the best and worst of everything face each other off for the number one thing of the year. So yeah, that'll be that, and we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to follow us on X.
that's right.
Because that's
right.
Done.
The news, the people's news.
X News. You are the media now.
We're the media.
Look at me. You are the media now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, join our Discord and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for watching. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Peace.